Hey guys, and welcome back to some more Assetto Corsa online racing. This time starting at Imola in these Formula 4 cars, and let's jump straight into it. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, starting in P9, and off we go. Getting away well, but clipping a stationary car on the grid there. Thankfully it seems to be only bodywork damage, no mechanical damage as of yet, as I get passed by a car on the right there on the run to Tamburello. Coming down the main straight, there's a massive spin in front, cars crashing off in every direction. Lucky to avoid all of that as we come into Tamburello. No one can drive in a straight line here at Imola as we come into the first corner. Getting held up by P8 now, trying to make our way past, but that's just not possible in these opening couple of corners as we exit Tamburello and go down the short straight towards Villeneuve. In the slipstream of the car in front, getting closer and closer, diving down the inside. A lot easier than I thought, actually. Gave me quite a lot of space as we come into the Villeneuve King. Guy in front, P6, spinning out of the race, putting us into P6 as we come into Tosa. Lucky to be kind of in our own little bubble here. Battles in front, battles behind, and we're kind of on our own. So it's nice to have a bit of a break from the action as we come up the hill towards Pirotella. Now chasing the cars in front, up to P6 now, 3 places up from where we started, as we come into turn 8 Pirotella, going a bit wide through there, running over the curbs on the outside, as we now descend down the hill towards the best part of the circuit, Acque Minerali, this double right-hander, coming into the first kink, and then the uphill right-hander, trying to make it stick through there, and that it does, as the guy in front goes onto the grass on the outside there, putting us up into P5, as we come towards Variante Alta, the chicane here on this straight. Coming into the chicane, nice and easy through there, taking the curbs on the inside, trying to not spin the wheels onto the AstroTurf there, as you see the poor guy behind us. Now skipping ahead to the end of the first lap, right on the tail of the car in front, getting closer and closer as we come onto the main straight, going down the inside, side by side with the car on the left now, as we come down the main straight, almost hitting the stationary car on the grid there, as we make our way towards Tamburello, still side by side, as we come past the pits and get turned in on by the guy there, breaking our suspension completely coming into the first corner. Now of course, with my front left suspension completely destroyed, I had to retreat back into the pits, losing me tons of time, dropping me down the order, all the way down to P8 now, as we come down the pit lane, and that would only be the start of my problems as we skip ahead now to coming towards Variante Alta, coming into this tight little chicane, looking up into this corner, and I decided to cut across the grass. Didn't think there would be a consequence, but no, 15-second penalty, that's just great. Now after this, needless to say, unfair penalty, I was stuck way behind the rest of the grid, but with 18 laps to go, I still thought there would probably be a chance to catch them up. But by lap 6, I was still so far behind P5, let alone the rest of the field, and that in a combination of mistakes and crashes throughout the rest of the race, I decided to retire a couple laps later and move on to the next race. So here we are for the second race of the video, 8 laps at the Silverstone National Circuit in this Ferrari 488 GT3. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and off we go for this 8 lap race, dodging the stationary Porsche on the grid there. That could have gone a lot worse as we come towards the first corner cops, getting nudged by one of the Porsche on the right there as we come around the first corner, and getting nudged once again, not leaving me any space whatsoever as we come towards Maggots now, losing place after place. This has not been the best start, and it got even worse coming into the first corner, braking early but braking late at the same time apparently, going incredibly wide onto the grass runoff area, smashing into one of the polystyrene boards as we come back onto the circuit, onto the Wellington straight, side by side with an Audi on the right now as we come down this long straight towards Brooklands. Let's see if we can maintain our line and defend the position from the Audi on the right now as we come down the Wellington straight towards Brooklands, breaking into this tight left-hander, slight contact there but nothing major. I think that was fun but fair as we come into Luffield now. Crucial to get a good line through Luffield, set you up nicely coming back onto the pit straight. The Audi still right on our back bumper there as we come back onto the pit straight to start the second lap of this race. A lap at Silverstone National, only about 1 minute and 7 seconds. As we come onto the second lap, passing a crashed out Audi there on the right as we come into Copse the first corner. Going a bit wide through there, not a great line at all, but not as bad as the guy behind, going quite wide as well. Now skipping ahead to the end of lap 2, and that's P7 in front in the gravel on the outside there. Not sure how that happened, but up to P7 we go as we come into Copse now. Much better line than before, going into the curbs on the inside, then to the outside, perfect line through there as we chase the purple Lamborghini Huracan in front. And that's P6 on the right on the grass there, putting us up one more position as we come into the tight Maggots corner. Of course, very different to the Maggots on the GP circuit, as we now chase the Lamborghini in front, trying to get into the slipstream down the Wellington Straight. Now skipping ahead to halfway through the race, lap 4 of 8, still in P6, still chasing the Lamborghini Huracan in front. Coming towards Maggot's corner now, as the BMW Z4 behind getting ever closer to the back bumper of our Ferrari. Coming into Maggot as the guy in front goes wide through there. Seeing if we can make a move, side by side almost. Getting closer and closer, moving to the left, side by side with the Huracan down the Wellington Straight. Seeing if we can make a move. Still right there with them, trying to make a move, going down the inside, side by side, trying to maintain the position, seeing if we can keep it as there's contact. The Lamborghini tries to go back up the inside, spinning us both out of the race and into the runoff area. No idea what they were thinking there, and I don't know what I was thinking here, looking back and accidentally going back onto the runoff on the outside. That was kind of my fault there, that was a bit stupid. As we come back onto Luffield and losing tons of time, down in P9 now, leaving us tons of work to do if we want to make up at least some of those positions back before the end of the race in 3 laps time. Now coming into Brooklands, braking hard as the guy in front goes wide into Brooklands, trying to make a move, trying to go down the inside, but they're still there defending their line on the inside of Luffield, seeing if we can make a move around the outside, but that's just not possible as we exit the corner, getting a much better exit than the Audi in front. Getting into the slipstream, almost side by side now, trying to go down the inside, hugging against the wall on the inside there, side by side down the main straight as we come into Cops, trying to make a move up the inside line, trying to push them wide as we just about get that position and make our way up into P7. Now after this, my luck started to change for the better as we come onto lap 7 now, coming towards Cops once again on the pit straight, and that's P6 and P5 taking each other out, coming through Cops, putting us up not 1 but 2 more positions. Into P5 we go. But anyway, now skipping ahead to rounding the final couple of corners of this race, lap 8 of 8 in P4. And here we are coming through Luffield to finish the race in P4, and on to the third race we go. Now coming along to the third and final race, 20 laps of Spa in these Lotus Exos 125s, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and off we go for this 20 lap race, getting away well, trying to jump a couple people at the start. As we come towards the first corner, crash in front there, and that involves me somehow. I'm like a magnet for these crashes as we come round La Source. Not too much damage, at least we didn't get any suspension damage, it's only bodywork damage. As we come down the hill towards Eau Rouge now. Now trying to claw back some of the time we lost on that first corner collision as we go down the hill towards Eau Rouge. Trying to get in the slipstream of P10 up this long uphill right-hander. Somehow the guy in front doesn't get a penalty for cutting Radion as we come onto the Kemmel Straight now. And now for these opening couple of laps, I completely forgot that DRS was a thing that existed. So that was a bit of a stupid move from me. I lost a ton of time because of that. Anyway, coming into Les Combes now, trying to claw back some of the time, getting close to the car in front. And a massive crash in front coming into Bruxelles, trying to play it safe and going as wide as possible. But of course still getting tangled up in it somehow as we come around Bruxelles. Not that bad damage, only bodywork damage still on the front and rear wings. As we come into the no-name corner now, trying to claw back some of that time, still getting closer and closer to the cars in front. As we now come onto one of the fastest corners of the circuit, poo on this long left right-hander, almost taken flat out in these pseudo F1 cars. As we now try and chase the cars in front, coming towards Lefania now. Now breaking into this medium speed right-hander, almost losing it there, having to balance the car through the corner. Of course, the tyres and brakes still incredibly cold, it's only the first lap. As we now skip ahead to the end of the first lap into the bus stop chicane, yellow flags in front as we round these final couple of corners, as there's a car spun out on the left there, and another car hitting the barrier on the left there as well as we come down the main straight and take up 2 more positions coming towards La Source. Braking hard into the first corner, trying to make it nice and tidy through there, trying to maintain our line as we come down the hill towards Eau Rouge once again. Good gap between us and the car behind, but not good enough towards the car in front as we have to try and make our way back up the order. Coming through there, touch of oversteer coming through Eau Rouge. Probably one of the scariest things in the entire world as we come onto the Kemmel Straight now and have to give way to the car on the right due to that silly little mistake coming up the hill. As we now skip ahead to midway through the third lap, coming through No Name Corner in P7, make that P6 as there's a car stranded on the left hand side of the road there. As we come round Pouon once again, still chasing the car in front coming towards Lefania. Up to P4 now, a lot of people retiring in front as we come into there. A touch of oversteer once again coming into there. Incredibly hard to get the car into there. Not sure why. That's my Achilles heel, that corner. As we come into Stavolo now, still right behind the car in front. Only 3 cars of the original 16 are still running as we go through this long, fast right-hander. Getting a much better exit than the guy in front. In the slipstream of P2, getting closer and closer and closer. Gonna see if we can make a move into Blanchimont, right there with them now. Almost side by side coming into Blanchimont, but still way too far back to make a proper move. As we now continue the run towards the bus stop chicane. Coming into this final couple of corners, going a bit wide through there, but nothing major. As we exit the final corner and come onto the 5th lap of the race. Opening DRS, chasing the car in front. And it was at this point where my heart sank, as I completely forgot I was supposed to go into the pits that last lap. As we round La Source now, and as you can see, my tank is almost completely empty as we come down the hill towards Eau Rouge. And predictably, coming into Eau Rouge, the fuel tank cuts out and my engine goes completely blank. And there we go, that is the end of the race. Couldn't have done anything about that, except probably not been so stupid, but that's beside the point. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe, comment, share, and I'll be back in the next video. See ya!